I bid you welcome to another one of my creation videos. This one I'm really quite proud of. I created Dart from Legend of Dragoon. Worked really hard on it. I don't know how many hours I spent trying to get things just right with some of these characters, but this one turned out really, really good. Um, so we'll go over the formula on how to make him, and I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. Okay, to start with, I went with Mitsurugi's fighting style, and I like the two-handed sword there. It has a kind of European look to it, so I used it for his sword. For his body's physique, I went with tall and thin. I almost think he still looks a little too bulky at times, but it works, I guess. Um, upper arms, I have set to 20. Forearms, I have set to -20. I'm sorry, -20 on upper arms too. Pectorals, -20. Hips, -20. Thighs, -20. Calves, -20. Stomach, -20. Waist, -20. Getting tongue tied here. And then muscle definition set to 5. Again, I was trying to make him look a little bit leaner because Dart wasn't a huge guy in the Legend of Dragoon, but unfortunately, this is pretty much as lean as I could make him. I did boost up his muscle definition just because I didn't want him to look like a noodle arm. Of course, I just stuck with the male face one. And for this, I went with Bad Boy Grunge for the hair. Of course, I altered the color of it. And eyebrows number 11, and Young Knight for the voice.
I won't hold back.
Okay, let's get into the clothing. All right, so we've got a headband. Of course, right there. I believe this was a base item in the game. I believe so. You shouldn't need a DLC pack for that. But I think some of these are uh, in DLC packs, so I will go over that. And as always, I'll leave that. Well, not always, but I started doing it in the last video, and I'm going to continue to list the DLC packs that are required for these characters in the description. But okay, so we got the sleeveless unitard. This was what I used for his underclothing on the armor. Uh, New Centurion overcoat. I guess mid layer torso. Okay. And then on the outer layer, of course, I went with the White Knight breastplate. For the belt, selected the White Knight fold. I meant. Um, it's also in a DLC pack, I do believe, but I thought the ridges and everything for this armor set looked pretty close to the one from Legend of Dragoon. And of course, on his neck, we went with these crimson wings. Um, the Dark Knight arms for his gauntlets. And then the White Knight shoulders, of course, to complete his upper body. And down here, we've got the White Knight greaves. Okay. Now here we have the ball, which I placed here in his chest to create that gem that he has. So of course we set it to to chest. I'm sorry. Right, left. We just left that centered at 0. Move up or down. We've got that at -5. We've got this one at -7. This one here I've set to -16 on the width. The length is -19, and the thickness -8. We haven't messed with the rotations, so yeah, that's all there is to that piece. And that's pretty much the costume down. Now for the colors, just default color for the skin tone. Again, for the hair, it's 1094 and 594. And this time around, I seem to have did it the hard way. But default color for the eyebrows. Just blank there, and then his eye color, I went with the default color again. Again, I can't remember what his eye color actually is. Um, and here we have the headband's color. And we got that set to 619. The underclothing, we actually put a Eastern 6 pattern on it, like this. And then we increased the size to about right there. There's no real numbers to give you, so, but it's just not quite maxed. And the angle, I'm pretty sure is just set the dead center. I don't think I changed that any. Of course, we didn't flip it. Now to look at the colors on it, we've got 064, 187, and finally 054. All right. Now we'll move on down to the midsection here. No pattern. 016 is the number we went with for it. And then over here, again, no pattern and just default color. Now we go to his armor. Here we do have a pattern. We have Animal 6, which is this kind of gator looking skin tone. We set the color to 719. And then again, we haven't altered the size or the angle, nor have we flipped it. Okay, next part. This is the trim. All right, we went with the Eastern 6 again on his trim. All right, for the first color, we have 419. Then we have 518. And finally, 119. Again, it looks like center is dead center. I'm sorry, size is dead center, angle dead center, and we did not flip anything. Okay. And then finally we have here just red 719. All right. Next up we have the fold. All right. So we change pattern to Animal 6, which gives us that crocodile skin again. And then we have this red color 319. Again, we didn't really change anything on it. It's all pretty much default. And in here, we've set the Eastern 6 pattern yet again. This gives the trim of the armor that kind of look like in a game. It looks almost like his armor has those glyphs running through it, or runes or whatever. Just gives it that kind of look to it. 418 for the first color, 119 for the second, and 519 for the last. And again, we haven't altered the size, angle, and we haven't flipped anything. All right. So now we got the wings. All right. No pattern on the first color. 25, 15, 9. And here, again, no patterns. 15, 25, 9. And then here we have the red. 4, 1, 9. All right, moving right along. Now we've got the gauntlets. Again, we didn't really need to change a whole lot with these, so we didn't really need the pattern. I mean, they already kind of have that look to them anyways. But we have 2, 1, 8 to get this color. Next up, got a little green and a little emblem here. 2, 18, 4. All right, and then finally, this one we have 2, 1, 9. All right, these are the shoulder pauldrons. As you can see, we did go back with that same crocodile skin for Animal 6. And we set the color to 819. And again, we haven't altered anything else about it. And this is the trim. And we have Eastern 6. And again, we have 219 on the first color. And the middle color is 219. And then the final color is 119. And again, we haven't altered anything else. Now we go down to the greaves. And again, we have the Animal 6, 219 on the color. And we haven't altered anything else. And here, again, we've come back with the Eastern 6 for the trim of the boot. 319 is the first color, middle color 318, and the final color is 210. And again, we haven't altered anything else. Now for the ball, I was trying to give it a kind of glass look. It didn't really come through as good as I wanted it to, but we went with the basic one, 342 9 for the first color, 226 9 for the second, and 221 9 for the final. And we've increased the size to its max, and we adjusted the angle just a little bit. It's not a big deal, but I do think it gives it a little more of a sheen to it when we do that. And then, of course, we did flip the angles as well. All right. And no stickers this time around. So now we move to his sword. I did work on his sword a little bit. We'll go over that, although I'm not sure it's really necessary because you could change this if you like. But 619 on the first color. Well, I guess the first color is default, but then here we have the pattern 6, the color 419, and again, we haven't changed anything here. And then finally, just give it a little green, um, 221 9, and that I think fits him pretty good. I do believe his sword had a little green gem in it, so we tried to give it something similar. And that is my dart. Um, as always, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, then might consider maybe giving me a like and perhaps a subscription. Uh, but yeah, as always, I wish you a beautiful day and I wish you all a very fond farewell.